Hello, hello. It's Carrie. So much glitter. Welcome, welcome. Happy Self-Care Sunday. Hey, View. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Oh, thank you for sharing. I am going to be kind of chatting and crafting around the craft table today. I'm finding myself live, and I think I found myself. Let's give me a thumbs up. Okay. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite drink, and join me around the craft table. Don't forget to grab your crafty supplies because we're going to be crafting today. And we are going to be crafting with some Junetober goodies, but I've also brought some fun Halloween stuff from my stash that's going to turn into Junetober goodies because not everybody has the capability of purchasing from Etsy. Not everybody has the capability of printing out, but we certainly have a stash and maybe we want to play along with the fun Junetober. So if that's you, you are in the right place. And I know that there's different, let me post my link tree in here so we can find each other. Anyway, so I know that there is different contests besides the YouTube hop. I'm taking part of the YouTube hop. So that's kind of what I've been concentrating on. But I know that there's like the Emily Designs had the curio card contest going on this week, and that ends today. So if you want to kind of jump in there, then you can. But anyway, so welcome, welcome. I am going to start off with my regular Sunday format, and we're just going to kind of craft and chat and relax and, talk about the week of past and the week to come, and the day of relaxation is here. And if any of you are like spooky fans of anything creepy and you're I was a very young child in the 80s, Tales of the Crypt is now on AMC. I think they have new ones going on, but the original ones from the 80s are on there too. So when I'm folding laundry today, that's what I will be probably doing. So thank you, View, for sharing. Thank you for a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started. I needed a little bit of snark to kind of start my day. After the week I've had, you will understand. I do need to go turn my air on because I realized it's not turning on, and it's like 95, 98 today. And I am proofing a sourdough loaf, so okay, so I had to turn my air on so I don't melt away, and I don't want my sourdough loaf to melt away either. So I won't be leaving to do any stretch and folds today because my daughter had a request for just a regular loaf, Mom, and I've been doing like flavored loaves. So I just did a few stretch and folds, and we're gonna let her simmer from there. Welcome, Tony. I'm so glad to have you. Hey, that's my mom. How are you? Glad you joined us. Glad you remembered it was Sunday. Anyway, so we're going to start off with a few positive quotations, and then kind of talk about the week past and see what you guys have been up to and see what you guys are planning. And are you playing along with Junetober? Like, what's the haps? Okay, so the quotes I picked out for this week are in the chapter of acceptance. And this is a book that I got from my used bookstore, like, I don't know, right around like the week of New Year's. And I thought that this would be fun to kind of add for my whole self-care. And before I forget, I almost forgot my gratitude jar because it has not been a grateful week, but it hasn't been kind of thing. So we won't forget that. Anyway, so acceptance. I did get this at my used bookstore. I don't agree with everything that's in here. And, I take what resonates. I leave what doesn't. You do the same. Anyway, so acceptance. I'm going to kind of start over here by Clarence Day, and the real world is not easy to live in. It is rough, it is slippery. Without the most clear-eyed adjustments, we fall and get crushed. I had to adjust my glasses so I could see it. Okay, so the art of life lies in a constant read adjustment to our surroundings. So we have to read to adjust to our surroundings. And the real world is slippery, and we do fall and get crushed if we don't kind of go with it or pay attention. So anyway, so these kind of resonated with me for this week. And as I kind of start to show some of my show and tell, which is from the last few weeks, because I have been on a no buy up until yesterday. I had a coupon expiring, so I did get something yesterday, and then I'm just going to kind of go on a low buy for the rest of the year. But anyway, Tony, I'm glad to hear that you're playing along with Junetober. So I've had a really, really rough week because I work for a community mental health program, and I'm a mental health counselor there. So we'll kind of get out my show and tell and the goodies that we'll be playing with today, and I'm trying not to have them all out at once. And our contract was readjusted and it was ratified. I want to tell you it's probably ratified like a month ago, but we just found out last week. So that's the fun of it, right? And it's not that we just found out collectively as a whole. Like, I mean, we, as in the people that hold the program together and things like that, just found out. So the higher ups have known for a little bit. Anyway, so my position was eliminated this past week, and then we were all, and a few other positions were too, so we were all encouraged to apply for other jobs within the company, of course, so they could rehome us and whatever. And so that became like not great at work, as you can imagine. And very stressful, because it was like, hey, you're not going to have a job as of July 1st. Your only severance is going to be one paycheck, and best of luck to you. So I was like, well, shit, basically, because I did mark that this wasn't for kids. So I'm sorry if I offend anyone. Like, I just finished signing all of my internship paperwork. I just finished the educational portion of my master's degree. So that means I will have something to be grateful for. But that, like, all of that was finalized. So now you're telling me I need to find a new job. I need to find a new internship site, and pray to God that I do not fall behind in these hours that California State says I need, because I'm going for a licensure. So that's been kind of the thing. I did do what they said, and I applied elsewhere. I had a lot of managers reaching out to me, and one in particular that my current manager, I think, is not a fan of, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so that kind of hit things into gear. So I was able to leave work on Friday, offered a position, and it's still at my program, and it's just running a different, it's like two programs in one now. But basically what it's doing is my old job. So I've been at this program for a year. My job before that, I was running a lower level of acute clients, and I was leading a team. So that's what will go back to. But I'm not ungrateful for, because that means I get more counseling hours in. My hours are going to count more, and I will get to use my clinical skills, I think, in a little bit of a different way than before, because I wasn't as far along on my master's degree before. So that's just kind of my chatty out of the way. How was your week? I would love to hear how everyone's week was. So I did go to Hobby Lobby this past week because I work right next to one, and I thought I wasn't going to have a job, and we needed some sort of like dopamine hit. And I did find some things on clearance in there, and I was able to find some stickers for 49 cents. I found these because I have like an 80s junk journal, but we've created kind of on and off here. And I'm using this as my ideas junk journal. And I thought that this would fit perfect with this. And for 49 cents, yeah, give me that dopamine. That's fine. I can afford 49 cents, I think. And then I got some Santa hats, because Christmas in July will be coming up, and I'm a bit freaky that way. That's why we're doing Junetober now. And so I had to. You know what, View? It did work out well. So I'm a little bit behind on comments. I'm sorry, because I try to read my laptop to the right of me and then my phone in front of me on YouTube, and there's a delay. I think it's going to be good for my nervous system, to be perfectly honest with you. And it's going to be a hidden blessing. I'm no longer going to be salary, but that's okay. But I don't get a cut in pay, so I'm good with that. We'll just kind of have to play it as it goes. And I honestly think this way I might be on call less. So there's that. My work hours do have to change. They're going back to an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, which but okay. I mean, out of everything. And then I won't have like an early shift anymore, and I won't have a late shift. So I'm grateful for that. I just need to process all of it together. And I've been kind of doing that at my craft table this week, if that makes any sense. Hey, Evian, I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so I did get the Santa hats because why not? And then they do have, I don't know if you can see, they do have the glitter on them. So everything's better with glitter in my world. Okay, and these were in the back to school section, and these were 40% off. So they're scratch and sniff, and I just had to. And I bought earlier during the summer, like blueberry ones. They were not 40% off. So, and it's only one sheet for $2. So that's not the greatest, but these were 40% off. So I got 2 of them, and I have a lot of stickers going on, and in my head, so it's going to go in here. I do have I want to make a sticker journal. So there's that. And when we were kids and very nostalgic, and we used to have sticker books, and, so kind of similar to that is what I want to do. So I love stickers. Ambient, I'm just like a weird little ephemera junkie, I guess. Anyway, so I'm kind of going backwards with my format, but I don't mind. And then I did get some pan pastels yesterday. I've been heavily debating pan pastels. They're very expensive, but I had a 30% off coupon, and I had $10 off at Michael's that was expiring yesterday. And my friend's daughter was doing a craft fair, and it was right near Michael's in the town over. And I was just going to go like check her out and support her. And I was like, well, I can't throw away $10. I'm already driving out there. So these were on sale. I was still able to get the 30% off, and I'm very excited about this. Now, I don't think I'm going to start collecting pan pastels. Like, let me preface with that, because I do have the soft pastels. I'm just not familiar with like really using them. But I liked this because it comes with the tools and the sponges and things like that. So I'm kind of excited about that. And I think the sponge for this is further down in a little box down here. And I got the portrait set because I wanted to start experimenting with pan pastels, because I have been influenced by Yolande. Yes, I'll say it. So Devin Rex for Art. If you don't know who she is, go check her out. She's a brilliant, brilliant artist. I'm never going to be to the level that she is. But hey, I can be inspired, can't I? And if you've seen Coloring View over here, throw in your channel view. If you see her, she has been inspired as well. And so we just like to play around with different things. And Yolande is fabulous because she'll like support you, and, it's fun. So anyway, so I want to practice with my portraits, because I do have a portrait coloring book that I want to practice with. And then watching Dee Dee a few times a week, I'm like, hey, I think I want to try that. And then Jane inspired me to get the colors of the world. So that was kind of nice. What we'll do, and then I did get this at Hobby Lobby as well. Some of their coloring books were 40% off. So this was $11. I already took the sticker off because those big stickers like bug me. But I got a Nostalgic Sweets coloring book by Eve Anderson. Who knows if this is a real person? It's Hobby Lobby, so I don't know. It's distributed from Canada, and it has really good paper. But I like this. So there's like an introduction. Okay, so she is an actual person. I should have known. I don't even think I read that far. I just like flipped through it, and I really like it. And it's sewn in here, so it's kind of fancy, right? If you can see that. It's fancy. Like, I was on View's channel on Friday night, like a little bit, I would say, I don't know, not unhinged, but just like we were sassy, I guess. But it was Friday, so it's fine. So it's like Friday Unplugged over there. Hello, Belinda. Welcome, welcome. So I did get this coloring book because I have a few recipe junk journals going on, and I love the retro kitchen stuff. I absolutely love it. And I thought this would be fun to practice with some mixed media. Alcohol markers, it's one-sided. I could make a whole journal out of this, honestly, and put a recipe on the back, like whatever. I don't know. So I just thought that that would be fun. And I'm going to try to be going on to my low buy. Thank you, View, for putting in all the channels. Anyway, so that's kind of what, I mean, like, look, peach pie. And then I have a recipe from my friend of like 25 years. Her peach pie is delicious because she grows peaches. I could put her recipe on the back of here, like whatever. So that was kind of that. And I have been playing in, okay, let me just get caught up. Sorry. I have been playing in the Dia de los Muertos coloring book. It's Bold and Easy by PG's Creation. And I don't think Chris is here, but it's her sister that created this. And a lot of this is based on their family heritage. So this is the Day of the Dead coloring book. I really like it. I love cozy coloring. I'm a huge, huge fan of it. I know a lot of people don't. This is Amazon, so it's like copyweight paper. But don't freak your freak, as Tim Holtz would say, because Chris gives lots of good tips and tricks on how to get around, you know, the lack of quality, I guess, for not a better word to say, because it's really thin paper. I still use my Ohuhu alcohol markers. I paid a small fortune for those things, and I'm in the middle of like organizing a D stash. So if you're interested, you can DM me on Instagram. But I will be in the middle of a D stash with coloring supplies, stamping supplies, probably some paper supplies, things like that. And I don't have the room, the time, or the patience to have different sets for everything. So I just keep my one fancy set, and that's what I use it for. And I use it for whatever I want because I paid for it. And so I did color this in here with some Hobby Lobby, Master's Touch is their brands, with some Hobby Lobby colored pencils because those were on clearance about a month ago. And then I did just use my Posca black acrylic marker to like edge out to really like make her stand out. I just have to color her hair. And then I was debating if I want to make everything black back here, but I'm not sure. I might just shadow it. Maybe that's what my pan pastels will be. Who knows? I have like ink and stuff. But this is a buddy color that I did with Chris. She finished hers a lot faster than I finished mine. But I did pick this page as our buddy coloring page, and I posted that in my YouTube community tab if you want to go check that out. I believe hers is on YouTube as well in my community tab, I think. Anyway, so this is the page that I picked because the Del Mar Fair started this past week, which now they call the San Diego County Fair, but whatever. And we'll be going in about a week and a half. So I just thought it was fun because the elotes, like they have like a few of those stands and stuff because it's a lot of Mexican inspired foods at the fair and things like that, like actually foods from all over the world. So anyway, so that was what I finished this week, and let's move right along. I thought the pan pastels were perfect colors too, View, because oh yeah, Tony, I'm all about the glitter too. I love it because more versatile, and I really want to learn how to do like more portrait style stuff. So I have this coloring book that I purchased from Amazon a while back. I did show this on View's channel on Friday night if you want to go back and watch the replay of us just being silly. And this is a Lois Goody book. She is an actual artist. She's actually reached out to me a few times on Instagram when I posted things. She is a tattoo artist and a coloring book artist, and I really love the stuff that she does. So there's her introduction, some idea sheets. This is all perforated. I could take this out and frame it and put it on the wall. I could do whatever I wanted with it. Let this be my idea, you know, whatever. So this is kind of a play on a comfy, cozy coloring book, but a little bit, you know, not at the same time. It's kind of in the middle. And this is, you know, creepy. What was it called? Creepy Curiosities coloring book. Eerie designs to terrify and delight. So I just thought that this was fun. So I've done a few pages in here before for Junetober, and, you know, just playing around, like nothing like spectacular, right? And just because I like all things kind of fun and scary and whatever. So anyway, what I've been working on this past week, because I've had extreme amounts of anxiety because of my job being eliminated and then not knowing if I was going to be rehomed or have a home or a paycheck or a place to get my internship hours. Like, it's all a mess. So before that got situated, I was up at like 4 a.m. and I was like, well, I'm not going back to bed. I don't want to just lay here. So I would just get up and kind of color. And this is what I've been working on over the past week. And I've just been playing in here, like nothing. I think I ripped the paper. Like, this is above printer quality paper. It's a little bit thicker than that. It's a little bit smoother, but it's not quite mixed media paper. So, you know, do with that what you will. So I did my Faber Aqua. Where are they? Oh, my gold Faber Aqua Faber-Castell pencils with this. And then I went over a few things with, I have like a mixed media pen from Hobby Lobby, and then my Posca. So I just kind of need to go do the fine details, and, you know, I don't know, just, it's kind of a mess, but it's just something I kind of been playing around with, and it's a lot of fun, and I like experimenting with the colors. And with that being said, I did buy a new coloring wheel yesterday because they were 40% off. And I like this coloring wheel better than the little one that I have, because it not only shows you like the complementary colors, it shows you a mix of complementary colors and colors to mix to in the triad. So they could, you know, be complementary. So because I'm not spending the big money on the color box things, because you said don't do that. So I thought that this would be perfect for kind of playing around a little bit more, and especially with like the portrait stuff, if I, you know, want to, how, depending on how far I want to get into that. So there's that. So that's really my show and tell for the week. And I haven't done my gratitude jar. I didn't plan that out quite as well, but today is the 14th, so 6/14/26. And let's see, where are we? Sassy Fridays. That's right. Hey. Yeah, so I'm a little bit behind on comments. I'm sorry. So the world is our coloring cube, and we save $200 and we spend it elsewhere on more stuff, right? So yeah, it's kind of fun. So anyway, so I really like debated about like, what do I have to be grateful for this week? Like, okay, health, home for now. Like, it was kind of a like, what's going on? My kids are healthy, and my grandson is healthy, although we did have him yesterday and the poor little guy had a fever. So I don't know if like he's teething, like the back molars or whatever, but he, you know, we played with him all day long, and then he just cuddled with my daughter for like 2 hours watching Winnie the Pooh. It was so cute, but he was able to play in the pool with us and stuff because summer has come. It has arrived. But anyway, so I am grateful to ground myself in uncertain situations. And let me write that before I forget. In my messy handwriting. And uncertainty. I know I spelled that wrong, but whatever. And maintain focus. Okay. Anyway, so my brain will think faster than I can write, so then I try to catch up with it, and it doesn't always work, but that's okay. So I'm grateful to surround myself in in uncertainty. So basically during uncertain times, I guess I wrote that wrong. I'll go back and read it and be like, what are you talking about? And maintain my focus. And then, so it's just like the simple things like spending the day with my grandson yesterday and then hanging out with my daughter for a few hours at the pool, stuff like that kind of puts things into focus and allows me to remember that just my Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 isn't everything. It is how I survive. Like, yeah, I get it. But you know, there's more to life than just that. So anyway, yeah, Belinda, join us. Anyway, so I'm going to be working on some Junetober goodies today. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I am bringing out goodies from Junetober's past and goodies from Junetober present. So what I do every Junetober, this is my 3rd year partaking in Junetober. It's my 2nd year as a collaborator. And I make a journal every year for Junetober. So my first one, I know I've showed it before, but I'll go grab it again. My first one was a paper bag journal, which I did. And Junetober was ran a lot differently than it is now because it was run by a different organizer. Now Lottie's Magic Attic organizes it. And let me share her Facebook group because this is the anchor group for, oh goodness, I have so many pop-ups over here. What is going on? Okay, like my darn laptop just was like popping up. Okay, so hopefully I was able to grab it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I was. If it's the wrong link, I'll have to erase it. So if you go there and it's my collaborator link, oops. I think, but I kept getting pop-ups and I was trying to exit out of them and I kept bringing me to where the pop-up was. So anyway, so hopefully that is the correct one. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is the right one. Anyway, so that's for Lottie's Magic Attic. So this was my first one that I did. And there was a prompts every day, which there are prompts now as well. But I'm just going to quickly flip through this. And this is not sewn in. This is just kind of a flow journal, if you will. And so I just did, and there was a lot of freebies. It was a lot, and very confusing. And then I pulled my own stuff from my stash into it. And I would come home from work and just kind of like do the prompts. Now, this is when I did not have a child living with me and I had my own dedicated space. So things could just stay out and stay messy because it wasn't like in my own way. Things got, upside down, whatever. So it was just easier to do that then. Now I'm kind of like my space is strictly my own space. So if it's messy, I'm getting in my own way kind of thing. But anyway, so this was a lot of fun to do. And this was my first year. And I was brand new to journaling at this point. This was maybe my 2nd or 3rd journal that I made. And I just kind of went for it and got as creative as I wanted. And I left the paper bag open for goodies in the pockets and, might as well. Why not? So that's what I did. Thank you, View. And I also created one last year, and I got a little bit more brave with I don't know, I think it's like some sort of hamburger helper box or something. And I'm not very good at this because I'm not good at like sewing in straight lines and doing all of that. But to put multiple signatures in a journal. So this is all stuff from last year. This was my collaboration project that I did last year. So this was a lot of fun. You can go check that out on my channel if you want. I do not have a Junetober playlist, but I do need to set that up. And so good news today is probably what I should have written in my jar is I don't have any more homework. And you know what? I'm going to write that. So we're doing a twofer in my jar because I do not have homework today. So I do not have homework anymore. And if my mother is still here and you guys ever hear me talking about going to go get a PhD, ask me why, and then maybe hit me upside the head just a minute and be like, ask me why again, and let's talk about it, because I do not want to do that. So no more homework. So that means no more 10, 15 page papers, no more reading endlessly. It's just all practical stuff from here on out. So it's just counseling from here on out, which is why I did this and which is what I want to do. And then I have an interview for a telehealth internship site coming up. So I'm very excited about that. So there's good, you got to take the good with the bad. And when you're in it and all of that, and you're not sleeping and you don't know what's happening, I'm not very good at that. I won't eat. I won't sleep. I won't communicate. Basically, I'll just like sit here and try to figure it out myself. And that's not always like, I know that those are not like the healthiest coping mechanisms. So the art has really helped me with that. This, are you talking about this, Belinda? That's why I spotlighted your thing. So I kind of Velcroed this in here. So these are like little, index cards. I just made like a little flip, like a mini flip journal, and I did double like reverse print, you print on the back side. And I just thought that this would be a fun addition to put in here. You could put pictures on here, whatever. I like to do a lot of journaling for memory keeping, because I was a scrapbooker first. So there is that. Thank you, Belinda. I hope it goes well as well. So it's just an internship, which is fine because it'll allow me to gather more hours, and I can start to stack the hours at one point, because going for LPCC California allows me to do that, just not until the end of summer. So my boss already told me she doesn't want me to do this internship. And so what that tells me, she doesn't want me to be overwhelmed. She wants me to do a good job for the job I'm getting paid for, which I perfectly understand. But that tells me to go do it, because that means I'm on kind of a right track, to where if I'm making other people feel a little bit insecure about what I'm doing and growing, then I need to keep doing what's best for me. And I'll still do what's best for my job and things like that. But I have goals and things like that. So I'm going to keep going. Kind of like when the government says the FDA approved that and it's good for you. Probably don't trust them anymore because they're lying, kind of thing. I think this is glued in here on accident. Oh, no, not really. But these are just a lot of like freebies from last year. And so I just did different signatures. I haven't been partaking as much in the challenges over the past few weeks, just because of the things I've been going through. But I'm going to kind of change that up a little bit today. And a lot of these papers were the freebies, again, from last year, and some of my own stuff. So it's very exciting. This was from this year. I just kind of threw this in here. This was like a pre-game, a Junetober thing. And I made a card. I always love making a card to go in my journals, because I think that that's a lot of fun. So I'm going to, and sometimes it's not all scary and spooky. It's cute and fun and whimsy, right? As you can see. I'm going to make my signature for this year in here. So last year I did 2 signatures because I was able to participate a lot more. And I didn't have as much time this year, but I'm still participating. And I did do mini projects, and I did do a flip through here on my channel if you want to go check those out. I did mini signatures for a swap that I sent off. And I was only able to keep one of them. So that's why this year I'm going to kind of scale it back and just do 1 signature for Junetober and then add things in. See, like I really beefed up this first half, but I liked a lot of this paper from last year. So I'm just going to kind of throw it in here and create my last signature. I will attempt to sew it in. We will attempt to sew it in is what we will do. So if I completely screw that up, then it'll be a what not to do kind of thing. Yeah, you have to keep your goals, right? And if you growing makes other people uncomfortable, maybe that's not the room for you to stay and grow in. I don't know. like my boss has grown on her own, and I do respect her tremendously as a professional and as a woman. And I think it's really important to empower other women. So I hope that we can keep moving on that trajectory. Anyway, let's see. Oh, no. Well, Belinda, it was probably not really a zine. It was kind of just like an accordion little thing that I was playing with. I'm not really good at the whole zine world, but I was using prompts basically, so you can kind of flip through this. So it's kind of like zine adjacent, I suppose, but it wasn't like a zine on purpose. So I'm going to set that aside, and then we are going to go through the papers. A lot of these are freebies. A lot of these are to purchase through the designers, and all of these are from different designers. So I'm just going to start folding them. One thing I do like to do in my journal making is I like to tea dye paper. And I like to tea dye paper and then kind of bake it and put it, you know, on like a drying rack, or like a, yeah, like a cookie drying rack. And I like to always add that in to add a little bit more of a vintage feel to my journals. So I like doing that. So I will add those in. And let's see. So I think this one right here is from Petals and Parchment, which she was week number 1. This one right here is Lottie's Magic Attic, and I think she's week number 4. Emily Designs was week number 2 last year. Week number 3, I think we're going into Crafty Dragon Designs, I believe. I think, unless if I have them transposed in my head. So I don't know. Go to the group and see. And this was Crafty Dragon, and this was Emily Designs. And I'm just kind of, you know, just going to fold these up, kind of cut them down to size and sew it in the best I can. I'll get out my awl and see how far we're gonna be able to poke through. So let's see. Staying the same and not growing. It can be draining. You have to move around and shake things up. You really, really do. And it's the older we get, the scarier it is. And Belinda, you're so right. So if your growing makes others uncomfortable, that's on them. You keep going. That may have been in house life particular season. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that too. Yeah, people are interesting characters. And now the more that I study diagnosis and things like that, yeah, you find a lot in people, and you're like, oh. So anyway, so this one I did do upside down. You know what? I'm going to go with it. We're going to fold it like this because this dog clearly wants to be right side up, but maybe we are in the upside down on some sort of level. So we are going to just have that be what it is going to be. I make upside down mistakes a lot in my journals, and it is what it is. So I like doing the tea dye paper, like I said, but now you can see I have a purple paper here. I don't do the RIT dye because RIT dye tends to be a little bit expensive, and I'm kind of getting a lot of it for not as much as I do. So I do food coloring, and I just do copy paper. This is mixed media paper, watercolor paper. It just kind of depends, like what I want. A lot of the mixed media paper will bulk up a journal pretty quickly. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of go through these again and bone fold it down because it'll really solidify the crease here, and the paper will be happy about staying where it's told to. The ones who complain about your growth are the ones that you need to move away from, and that's perfectly correct. So I am where I need to be for as long as I absolutely need to be there, and then I'm going to keep growing. So and that doesn't necessarily mean like I need to move up a corporate ladder either, but I need to keep growing for myself, my career, my family, and you know, just keep swimming basically, and buy my my crafty travel van, right? And so we can go visit our crafty friends around the world, because I believe Jane said that she would host us up in Canada. I don't have anything measured. So, because I'm not your mathematician. I'm crafty for self-care. So what I'm just going to do is take one paper, not 10, Carrie, and just going to kind of align it with the other ones. And hold it right there. And then that's how I'm going to cut it down. I'm not doing anything spectacular because we want a little bit like this one's bigger, this one's smaller. So what I could do is kind of just do my own measurements then. Let's do that. So then they're all 3 different sizes because why? Why do we need to all have them the same? And I'm just going to put a pencil mark right there. So I'm going to leave that there. Know that I need to kind of set it. If you can see, I'm just going to put a pencil mark, kind of set it so it has a little bit of a gap so it can close and open and so nothing's hanging out, because I'm going to keep filling this up and it's going to become a gator mouth and it's hanging out already as it is. And so I just put it on my bookshelf like this. So there is that. Let's get out my trimmer and hope that there's not a trimmer waterfall or craft-a-lanch, whatever. I don't know. Trimmer catastrophe. I've got like 4 trimmers at my feet next to me lined up how I think they're organized, and when I take things out, they are not. So now, because I did not plan as well as I should have, but that's okay. That's okay. Like we can only, we only do what we can do. We don't want it to come out too far, right? And so what I want to do is, because this is easier, so happy accident. It's on that line, but it's like on the middle of that line. So I'm just going to go right here. No, Belinda, there is no need to tell everybody everything. You're right. But I do have to tell my job about other things that I'll be doing, not for monetary gain, but when I'm treating people, that's part of the client level of care or whatever. So it can't interfere with what I'm doing, what I'm getting paid to do, So unfortunately, I did have to say what my plans were for that, but that's where that begins and ends kind of thing. If I take it or not, I don't have to tell her. I just have to tell her that that's what I was planning on doing, because I'm going to have to tell my clinical supervisor, because I will have a different clinical supervisor with that place. Oh, look at me. And that's just how like the treatment of care kind of goes sometimes. And the mental health community is very small, like most other trade communities. So they know each other. Okay, let's see. Now, it should be fine, right? Yep. So this will just go right in here, and then she'll fit right in there, if you can see. Anyway. Okay, where am I at now? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use these as a guide. I'm going to use my one master copy, so to speak, as a guide and measure accordingly from there. And I'll just line it up at the bottom, so I'm not cutting like from every side, because if I do that, I'm going to get into the weeds and we're going to get into some trouble. Get out my handy dandy pencil again and just kind of do this and that, and that's how we know we're cutting it down. And I'm going to keep measuring that way. So this might be boring. I do apologize. So this is your time to change the subject if you would like. We can craft and chat about other things. I do like this piece of paper under here because it's like 2 different designs in one. Like this is an accent design. So I think that that's a lot of fun. You know what I'm realizing? I need to do a pen, I think. Because I'm going to be like, where is that? There, yeah. I think the pencil might be a little bit too clear for me on some of these. So I'm going to have to do a pen. Does anybody else do these sewn in signatures made out of boxes and stuff like that? And are you good at it? Everyone is not your friend. That is true. That's like a hard adult lesson to learn, Belinda. That is, and it sucks. Like, as children, we're taught like to have good intentions, that your friend had good intentions, they didn't mean to do it, this and that. When in all reality, like, no, some people just suck. And I'm going to say something that's going to sound like so corny and not pointed towards anyone, but hurt people and unhealed people hurt people and give them something to heal from. And that's where that is. So I have to remember that when dealing with different people as well. And speaking of, nice segue, Father's Day is next weekend. I still am going to be doing a live. My kids are adults, so they can do what they want. And I believe like my daughter has to work. I know my son works as well. He works on Sundays too. So there's that. But, the last few years, not having to scramble and get my day ruined because I didn't do something right has been an absolute dream. Because hurt people, and you have to heal from them sometimes. And when you heal from them, you ain't going back. My mama didn't raise a fool. A procrastinator and a smartass, yes. A fool, no. Okay, so because I did it in pen, I'm going to need to cut it maybe a little bit shorter. But this is not an exact science, That was science class, and that's not where we are. But I just don't want the pen mark showing up. Oh. Think my blade into the middle if it's not working, especially treated paper. Kind of acts funny because it's treated. It's treated, and so the fibers are broken down a little bit, and it's not going to have its original integrity with it. Now this is a little bit thicker. No new friends sometimes get tired of getting disappointed and people. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So your circle becomes very quiet and very small. And the older I get, that like, that's the way it is. I'm okay with that because it is more peaceful. It's a lot less demanding. My kids demand enough from me, God only knows, that I don't need a friend doing the same thing, because unless if like, it's a friend, it's a genuine friend. And, we all go through hard times and we're there to support and lift each other up. But yeah, sometimes it's just better to keep your circle small. You have to be a little bit choosy about who we're putting in that circle. Okay. I'm trying to cut. Well, that's thick paper. It feels like I'm trying to cut. I might need to replace my blade, but that would be weird because this isn't that old. Trying to find the right trimmer for the life of crafting. I want to find the right trimmer for it all. And I have not been able to do that. Hence why I've got like 4 different damn trimmers down here. And some of them, ones that I really like, oh, the blades are no longer available. So I'm like, oh, great. Now I need to find another trimmer. And that's how this baby came about. So she's been good so far. She's supposed to be a scoring blade or a scoring board at the same time. She comes to scoring blade. But having the scoring, I'm like dropping everything over here. Having the scoring blade and the trimming blade on the same, they get in the way from each other, and it it hinders some of my measurements. So I just don't, and I just use my scoring board. My scoring board. Oh, hey, Lori, she made it. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is her first time ever commenting. Long time watcher, first time commenter. Hey. She's one of my very best friends. I grew up with my whole entire life from Washington State. And she likes to dabble in the crafting too, just not as avidly as I do, but it's okay. she's like my mom. She likes the gardening and all of that. And I don't like all that because my ex-husband used to demand I did certain things for gardening to like contribute to the yard and do this and that. And it was just like, really? As if I don't do everything else. So yeah. Okay, so there we go. So now we are going to get out the folder and or the book and put, this is kind of when we decide like where do we want placements, and what do we want to do here? One of the little slicer trimmers. Let's see. Fisker one. Oh, see, I had a Fisker one. Hey, Jane, welcome. So excited you're here. I had a Fisker's one, and it was like one of the clear, it had like a clear window with like the accordion, like a violin string or whatever. And see, these two just go together. So, the blade kept coming out though. And then that violin thingy kept like popping out. It was the weirdest thing ever. So I stopped with that. I stopped with that business is what I did. So now we have to decide where do we want the center? And this, something like this is fun for the center, right? Okay. So what I'm going to do, and thank you, View, for putting Jane's channel in here. What I'm going to, Jane comes on next, live next after this. Excellent colorist. I've seen her do some journaling, ephemera making stuff too. So we all like to dabble between the coloring world and the crafting world because we're all one big art world, right? Right? View, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Okay. So we want to try to make sure that the seam is butt up against each other, because when I start sewing it, we want to make sure that we're sewing it all, right? And hey, Debbie, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. It's great to see you here. That dumb blade is always falling out. That's what it was. And so I got rid of it because I lost patience with it. So there's that. Excuse me, I was drinking water out of a straw. I was actually drinking a collagen drink, so I didn't mean to slurp it in your ear. Like, that was weird. Okay, so it's just going to stick it in here, and I'm going to sew, and I'm going to do the best. I'm going to hope for the best. I always screw this part up, but I do need to make my holes first. I will try to get out a ruler and make like even holes or like an even line. I don't know. But we have our handy dandy bag, and let me take a sip of my tea now because it's so hot out. I get dry. Okay. So I have all of my sewing stuff in here. I have my needles. I have my thread. I have my awl. That's what I need. And I thought, okay, I do at the very bottom. I just kind of throw everything in here, if you will. I have the black. So this is the waxy thread for bookbinding. It's bookbinding thread. And then I do buy this at Hobby Lobby, and it's the beading cord elastic. And I buy white. I have black and I have white. I have different colors of beading cord also that I purchased from Walmart. But oh, this is called stretch cord. But this is a lot thinner. So I don't use it a whole lot because this would be more for like my junk journal jewelry. And this is a little bit thicker and I can stretch it more. So I'll do this for my flow journals. I do like doing a lot of that. But right now we're going to get brave and we're going to watch me screw this up. So why not? Okay. Let's try to go make sure I was reading all of the comments. Okay. So let's kind of stick this in here. I need to get, never mind. I'm going to, because it needs to all be like flushy, kind of with everything else. Like it needs to all be down. So everything kind of needs to be clipped together. So we're all on the same team here. Right, ladies? With these pages. So the book's going to have to get that memo. Okay. I'm hoping, we'll see. This might not work out because it's already kind of not working out. So hold on. Maybe she doesn't need to be clipped to the other pages. Maybe that was wrong because they're like fighting each other because I think they're different sizes. So critical thinking has to come into play at some point, right? Okay. All right, Belinda, go check on the food. Let us know what you're making. Okay, so I already have these sewn in up here, which I might be running into an issue, but I don't know. Let's just poke it, pokey, as far as we can go. So you see that? I'm poking it through. I do not measure these, not in the slightest, because, and just make sure it makes it through to the other side. Do not put your finger on the other side. You will poke a hole in your finger. There we go. I don't measure because that's why, because I'll screw it up. Okay, so I always get out my biggest. These are bookbinding needles. I get out my biggest and my thickest one. And then they say you're supposed to make it 3 sizes. See, I've already moved it, so my holes are not going to be lined up. I can already tell you right now, I probably screwed this up. 3 sizes of the book. I do 4 because I'm a rebel. So this will be 3 and this will be 4. Really because my big hands get in the way. And I like to make sure that I have enough rather than not enough, if that makes sense. Okay. And I just thread the needle once. I used to do double thread. It's probably why I started doing the 4, but I just thread it through once. It's not that big of a deal. And we'll just kind of put this here. Now I've moved this a lot, so we're going to run into issues, friends. I can already tell you right now we're going to run into issues, but we're going to get through it. Okay. I start where I want to end. I'm going to have to keep pushing. I don't know if that's going to do it. I just poked a hole in my mat. I'm going to have to keep. There we go. And then I want to keep kind of enough right there. And then we're going to pray that we can see. Oh, Lord. I don't know if that's it. This is where I run into issues. I'll see, because it's there. That's why. Okay. Let's see. But I can see her from there. So I'll have to get up. Just push. That might not be the right hole. I'm not going to push it with the back of my, there it goes. I'm not going to push it with the back of my hand because, so as you can see, we did not make it through to the page, which is fine, I guess, on some level. It is in here. It's stuck in here. Yeah, it's stuck in there. So we're going to do it again. so I can see the hole better now. So I'm telling you guys, do not do as I do. There, see how we kind of go up? Now I'm going to push it through here. So I'm doing it like a backwards way. I do understand that I'm doing it a backwards way. Yeah, it hurts. That's why. Exactly. It hurts. If you don't want to get hurt. And we're going to keep pushing this through here. And it does make it out on the other side. And these are really thick needles. So, and now we're going to push it right back in the middle one, which let's hope that's the right hole. Maybe not. I'm going to try to move my hand out of the way to see where this lady's going. So I am not like an expert on these multiple. I think this is the wrong way. It's fine though. We'll survive. We will survive. It's not going through to the right one. You should measure, but okay. Because what we want to do is we want to bring it back into the middle. And there's the hole. Here, might be better. Okay, so it didn't go up into here, but it did go. See, it keeps getting caught in here, which is fine, I guess. We're going to grab the needle, you see, and now we're going to put it back in the middle. It should be. So you're watching me make a mess, which is perfectly fine. There it goes. Back in, we made it. Yay! We made it. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to loop in. I want to loop in the middle and then tie it off this way. So it doesn't keep pulling around. It like won't pull it through and out, right? I just leave my needle on here a little bit because my fingers get like a little bit flimsy. Like they get, my fat fingers get in the way, basically, guys. I like to tie a bow right here, but I don't always end up even enough to tie a bow, which is perfectly fine. So we just get like a little bow out of there. So reference, that's right. Use it all for reference. Well, thank you for the beautiful stitches. Yeah, it's all handmade, right? Like I'm not Hallmark, I'm handmade, and I'm not selling this. I'm doing this for hobby. So if somebody doesn't like the way something's put together, then they can do it differently. Bye, Mom. Love you. Have a great day. Anyway, now we can decorate. So one thing I did do is she came off of here, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. She wasn't perfectly tied on there to begin with. She was just kind of thrown on there. So I could mess around with her and like put her back there. And you see, like, I don't have a third one here because I was very not linear. It is what it is. Okay, I know I have a cap for my scissors. Let's put that away so I don't hurt myself. Let's put all the sewing stuff away because we don't want to lose it because it's important. And these little Dollar Tree clips, I got like a bag of 5 of them for like whatever, what are they now? $1.75, $1.50? I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. So now we have our third signature sewn in, and then this is the middle. So we can we'll start decorating and doing all of that good stuff. So let's get out the ephemera. And I do know one of the, this is from Emily Designs. I do know one of her challenges was to do a curio card. And so she was decorating a playing card. So I'm going to get a playing card out and we're going to decorate a playing card. We'll make some pockets. This is some fun designs. And I printed it out wrong the first time because I forgot to put that I have, you have to do matte photo paper. So I was just regular paper. So how you print, like on what kind of paper and what you choose in your printer affects the printing quality. So this, it was just regular paper, which is fine. I can do that for the postcards. These are tags. So you can really see the difference. Like this, I chose matte photo paper because that's what I have is matte photo paper. This, I just chose plain paper because I forgot. And the print quality is a lot different. And then I have these fun little booklets and I reverse printed on these. So I'm going to go get a playing card. We're going to decorate a playing card. We're going to make a few pockets. And that's how this is. All of this is going to be Junetober 2026. And I want to do that with this or with my date stamp. So let me get, Dollar Tree is turning into open up your wallet store like everything else, right? Open up your damn wallet and give me all that you have. Oh, sanding. Yes, I do have light grit sandpaper, but I didn't bring it out because I have done that before. Let's see. I have these that I purchased at Five Below, and these were a deck of playing cards for $1, I think is what it was. Anyway, so I like using these, but I do, Jane is perfectly right. I do have, you could light grit sandpaper, and that'll help everything stick to this a lot better. So sand your playing cards lightly. And emery board, that is true. So I do have light grit, but I didn't get it out, and it's up in the closet, and I don't want to get it down because that'll take a few minutes, and that's not what I'm doing. So what I will do when I'm decorating this card is I'll use my Fabri-Tac. I will use my Fabri-Tac. Pair of jeans for $25. I think that's like at the Goodwill now, which is pretty unfortunate, huh? But yeah, I do remember that too. I remember my mom sending me to the mall with $20 or $30 for the day. And that included lunch. And we were perfectly satisfied with the whole day, right? Okay, so this is a date stamp and I want to pick June. I don't necessarily need a, I just do June 1st, I guess. Oh, you know what? There's a heart right there. Look at that. Because I love Junetober. Let's do the heart. Hold on. I got this as We Are Makers. I got this from Michael's. Let's see if there's like another heart or another shape. Oh, it's a hashtag. Okay, so you know what? Let's just, okay. Now I don't know what's right side and what's not right side for this. So let me practice. Okay, there it is. So it's the flat to me is the right side. Yeah, so anyway, it was like what, $20, $30. I used to be able to buy a mixed tape and lunch and an orange Julius and like a lipstick or something, whatever. It was just like, you know, simple day, right? And then the quarter to call my mom when we were done. So I'm just going to kind of wonky it over here. And June 2026. I'm going to do this a few times on here just to kind of make it like a fun little part of like a background. But this is the beginning, and this is June 2025 over here. Both of these are, and I did not have this stamp before I did that. So let's do June 2025 while we're at it too. Now, my question to you guys is that if you're like into the crafting and the junk journaling, do you have a junk journal that you use for multiple projects across the years? Something like this? Okay. And this could be June 2025 as well, because that's what this is. I didn't really decorate one of these. I think it's this one. I just loved the papers from last year. I was like, oh, I need to create another signature. And then this will be my Junetober 2026 journal as well. So we're going to put that back. And then we're going to decorate the card, because that was one of the, and you can still do this. And then you post it in Emily Designs Facebook group, and you can find her through Lottie's Magic Addict, and you enter her contest. So I don't know if I have any background paper actually. I bet you I freaking don't. Nope, I don't. I did not print a background paper for this because that would require me to think, apparently. And I wonder if I should print one, or we could just decorate it. What do we want to do? What to do, right? We could just kind of make it weird. How weird do we want to make it? Okay. Cut this out. Let's just kind of make it a little bit weird. Okay. The date stamp, I know. It's just something so simple, right, that we don't remember to do. Actually, this is where, never mind. This is what I'm going to do. Because if you're partaking in Junetober and you don't have the capability of printing and doing stuff like that, bring out your own supplies too. So because I didn't print to do this, I'm going to bring out some of my own background papers for Halloween. And we're going to use that. So this, I think this is a Martha Stewart paper set that I got at Michael's a few years ago, and I just like the cover has fallen off, and I really like it. But I've put other it's just like creepy weird stuff. I put other papers in here as well. You know, like these are just black cats or whatever. So just, we don't have to make it. Oh yeah, here's the back of it. It's Martha Stewart. It's just the front of it that came on or came off. So, okay. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do because this is not double-sided paper. I like decorating both sides. That's just me. You don't have to do it. We could just decorate one side and we could glue it flat on the page, put it in a pocket, do what we want to do. I imagine kind of putting this little decorative, decorated card in a pocket. So we'll just get it going now because the Fabri-Tac takes a little bit longer to set. So, and you can move it around a little bit. This is I love the magic of wet glue for that. So we can kind of, we have a little bit of extra time. Okay. So is everybody, are you crafting with me? I always want to know. I know you like to craft along with me here and there, but like, let me know if you're crafting along with me. This is a perfect time to kind of craft when you're watching other people craft. It inspires you. I don't see anything interesting. Am I? Oh, sorry. Oh, it cut you off. Oh, Hobby Lobby's a hit and miss, right? We've talked about this before, I think, on my channel. Like they're just, where did the hobby and the Hobby Lobby go? Now it's just like a decorative lobby, right? So that becomes kind of disappointing. And then they do have their fall stuff coming out, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for that. I just am. Okay, so we have the back of the card. It's all crooked right now, and my Fabri-Tac is kind of exploding for some unknown reason because it's a volcano over there. Trying to put the lid back on and turn it upside down. And then I'm going to decorate it with some elements. And I think I'm just going to layer up elements. I don't think I really didn't cut this straight. I want it flush up with the playing card. And then I can use my corner chomper to round it out. I could, though, decorate both sides, which will be kind of fun. Then they're both decorated, and then I'm just putting like funky elements on it. We could do that. That one side's perforated. So then it would be one side this way and that way, and then we could put like a funky saying on one side. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's go for it. Jane says she's getting her papers ready. And Jane's been doing some beautiful, beautiful work on that mouse guard book, I do have to say. That was a very generous gift. And then I didn't realize the ones that I found on thrift books were the authored books. They were like fictional storybooks. So that's where the mouse guard coloring book came from, is the stories. That's why they're so popular. I did start following him on Patreon. No, it's not letting me go through my comments. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's going to take a minute to set up. So then we're just going to cut down, and then we're going to get out this is where we'll get out the fun elements. And we're just going to try to cut it as close as we can. You're welcome, Jane. I'm amazed at like your coloring skills. I mean, I barely made a signature in a journal just now. You got to watch me screw it up on YouTube Live. Okay, so now we don't even know it's a playing card. This is where I get my corner chomper out, and we can make it decorative. Let's make it decorative. Why not? Screw it. There's stub or scallop. Scallop tends to be my favorite, so we'll just stick that in. And then now here's the card. Okay, so I'm going to probably ink up around that a little bit. And let me get out my black soot, which is right here next to me. And so if you haven't done this part of the Junetober yet, and you want to, now is your chance. We could decorate this together. I had a black, oh, here it is. It's hiding. I'm like, I had a black blending brush. See what happens when I don't put things away? They hide in plain sight from me. But we just want to ink up the edges. So if you haven't had a chance to partake in this over on Emily Designs Facebook for Junetober, you could do this now because these are really quick to decorate. And if you're using her printables, you could enter to win, or just decorate them now with your stash and get ideas, you know? Get ideas, ma'am. I like the ideas part. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to put my stash away. See, my idea was going to be, I have a lot of these transparencies too. I just have to find the book of transparencies, so I might use this. These are fun. My idea was going to be put this as like a, then it would be like a postcard kind of thing. But then I was like, nope, I got out my own stash for a reason. All right, so this is fun, weird, like it. Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. And we just start putting some fun and funky elements on it. And that is what we do. I really like this doll's head, but I really like this more. So what I'm going to do, because I reverse printed these, instead of printing it on 2 separate sheets, don't ask me why. I just don't make sense all of the time. So we're going to do with what we have. Yeah, so there goes the doll's head. I figured it's okay. But it's a printable. I can print it again. I can resize it again. I can do whatever. I'm not like married to the concept of never being able to use that again. Helen, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Don't worry about being late. There's no attendance being taken here. I'm just glad that you're here, partaking in some self-care. You got to hear my little sob story at the beginning, but at least I've been catching up on sleep this weekend a little bit for what my body will let me. And we've been sharing some Junetober ideas, and I'll bring out the, actually, what I could do is do that. So make it like a pull. Now this is kind of looks weird having this on the back, but at least I get the best of both worlds here. So it's still both a little bit weird. Now with that school of thought, that means none of this needs to make sense for decorating this playing card, right? I don't need like a specific theme. I could decorate both sides. I could attach, I have some tea-dyed paper over there. I could attach some tea-dyed paper here, put something underneath so it's like a fun hide and seek. That's what I'm going to do. So let me get my tea-dyed paper. And one fun thing about tea-dyed paper is not one paper is going to be the same from the next. Sometimes good ideas just turn into nothing burgers for no explanation, no good reason. Like that's the way it is. Yeah. Welcome to art, right? That's the way it is. Okay. And so to me, for some reason, this says the front. I don't know why. It's probably because that's the one I picked first. But this could be the front just as well. I'm going to trace this because why not? And then this is just going to kind of be like a spot for journaling. Maybe you learned something in Junetober, which I've been catching up on the videos, and I have learned a really cool journaling technique that I'm going to do with Be Happy Stationery stuff next weekend. So you want to check that out. And that's going to be with fairies and all of that. Oops. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm just going to kind of rough cut it and make it similar shape, hopefully similar sizes. And then we go from there. We could make notes. We could write. My first year of Junetober, I was really, because I was not very good at journaling and I was very like insecure about it still. So I wrote a lot of measurements down on things, on projects and things like that. So you could write the measurements down for here. So I'm going to get my punch. So I want it to be a little bit more defined. Let's see if that fits down there. This might be full. Oh. Okay, we do what we can here. No, oh well, okay. Well, that was just a thought. I wanted it to be a little bit more defined, but it's fine. It's fine, no big deal. And I'll probably just cut around it just to make it a little bit shorter. So we'll glue the top of this. And I think I want the darker side showing, so we'll just put the glue right here. Try to put things away as we go. And it's fun just to have the foil of it revealed, right? And again, I like wet glue for this reason, because we have a little bit more playing time with it. I have extra time to make it just right. I can be a little bit more finicky with it if I want to be, if I don't want to be, whatever. But that's why I like the white glue a little bit better. Okay. And then I'm just going to glue this to the top. It's kind of like a little tag or whatever. And I don't think this paper is thick enough, but what I could do is get out, oops, if I wanted to print it like on mixed media, I could get out glossy accents and make curl glossy accent. With this paper, I think I've tried to do this before, and it curls the paper really bad. So I just don't with that paper. So there she is. Oh, so this ends up being the front then, doesn't it? Or that could be the front. Like, does it matter now? I don't know. I had a front and a back in my head, but then I just went completely rogue on what I just did. So whatever. That is what it is too. But we could write whatever we want to write here. It's in my stash. I didn't bring it out, but I have some lined stamps, so I could do that. Let's put an image under here. I like to do like a fun and funky reveal kind of image. He would be fun just because I think I like those. But I think him just because he's just like a portrait and it's just somebody random staring at you when you lift it up. You're like, oh, what's under there? And it's just like some random famous painting guy staring at you. If you know the name of this painting, holler it out, because I do not. But I know it's a famous painting. I've seen it in art books and stuff before. So there's that. There's that. What will everyone else be doing for the rest of their self-care Sunday? You guys going to hop on over to Jane's channel? I think it's Christina. I'm Christina Crafts, Craft and Stitchery. She's not here, but her and Tammy recap Junetober after this too on Sunday. So if you're really following Junetober and things like that. So I will be like cleaning, and I'll be cleaning up the area where I'm in now. See, I'm telling you, I have playtime with this, but I don't have ample amounts of playtime. So when I say I have playtime, I mean like seconds. Like I've got like 5, maybe 10 seconds. But I wanted to kind of tuck him up in there. So I'll be doing all of that. Shakespeare. Okay, I was thinking that. Thank you, Jane. I was thinking that, but I was like, no, like that's typical. I would be wrong. Because I'm like, I know it's famous. That is Shakespeare. You're right. Okay. It shows how uncultured I am. And so, is it from Home Alone? I don't know, that uncultured swine or whatever. Yeah, whatever. That's me. That's me. Okay. So I'm going to clean off my black brush a little bit because these are newer and they're not holding a whole lot of ink on them right now. And we just, for fun, we want to grunge it up just a little bit more. We lift it up. There we are. We're going to make our notes on there because it's going to be a journaling spot. Now let's decorate the back of it. And it's fun. Okay, so now we know, because Jane taught us, that that's Shakespeare. I was like, I know that's famous painting. That's famous something. I was on the right track. It's going to be Restless Spirits, right? Oh, the ATC swap. I do want to do the ATC swap as well. I just need to like set time aside for it. And I have kind of a lot going on with Junetober right now. And the video I need to make for my interview. So I think I might start working on that next week because I have some really fun things like Americana from because it's supposed to be celebrating America's 250th birthday. Okay. Let's not get into politics here. Be quiet. So I thought, oh, so Sweet Pea Curiosities had some really fun like Americana type stuff. And I was like, let's like go back to like the good old days with hope and glory and all of that. And I think that's what I'm going to do with mine. And so if you're from out of the country, Dee Dee said it was like something to represent your country. So I think that that's a lot of fun. So I am going to do that. I just have to email Janet for her address. And I'm excited because I just did a swap that costed me $53. Yeah, you heard it. I'm not going to do something like that again. Or I'm going to be more careful with how I decorate. So this is like a flat swap. It's just send it in a larger envelope and a self-addressed envelope and we're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put this up here so then it becomes like it makes just a little bit more sense. So for some reason in my head, I thought I would have time to decorate more today, but I didn't. And because I've been over here yammering about things, but it's okay. It's a crafty, chatty Sunday. This is what we do. I like talking to all of you guys. I apparently like listening to myself talk sometimes. I am going to cut this down a little bit. Let's see. Just so it doesn't overlap. And it will look a little bit funny right there, but not so funny that I'm mad at it. So I just don't want a bunch of overlapping that doesn't really make sense. So there we go. So that's what that looks like. Let's see what I'm missing out on. Oops, it's not letting me. Oh, yeah, we do need your feelings of, we need your feelings. Thank you, Jane. And with what's going on today or what's scheduled to go on today, which is a fucking disgrace, excuse my language. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And it makes some of us feel like our vote doesn't count, but whatever. Whatever. That's a different discussion for a different day. I'm in social work, so it is what it is. And that's a big reason of why the state of our economy is why my job got cut. So it's less care for the people that really need it, but it's a blessing in disguise for me. So, and I wouldn't have known that. So anyway. Okay. So we have Restless Spirits here. Well, we're going to need like a ghost, right? And maybe the ghost will be a little bit of a tuck spot. Or we could get real sassy with it and put him there because he's kind of fun. But I like the ghost. And cut this. And I have some stuff in my stash. See, this is what I mean. Get out your stash. Use your stash. Because we all have things that we purchase with our hard-earned money and we want to use it. I'm starting to get out my cutter beads a little bit more for the fine details because I usually use these big Tim Holtz for everything, but I notice I end up being like, oh, I'm cutting that off. I'm cutting that off. I won't dig into the finer details. So I'm like, just get out your cutter beads. That's what they're for. And I used to only fussy cut with these, but then I was taking too many slices per paper because they're just small. And that was like annoying me. So I bought these Tim Holtz ones and I love them. I actually love having both of these in my stash. Just think of those dollars could spend for your citizens. Exactly. I don't know why we don't worry about what needs to be really worried about. Just You know, I've literally had to go into homeless encampments to get people that need treatment that can't get it. And it's not because they don't want to get it. It's not because they are strung out on drugs. It's not because of anything. It's because of that is their only option, and they are mentally ill and they don't have the help that they need. So programs like ours have to like go reach out, because they've expressed that we're not just going reaching out to strangers off the street in homeless encampments. It's not what we do. We are going after people that have signed up and expressed interest at some point via the hospital or some sort of emergency services gateway to our services. And so we, per county guidelines, we have to do our best, like if they get discharged before we can come in contact with them, to find them. So yeah. The people that need it aren't getting it. The people that don't need it are taking it. That's kind of, I keep crafty. I try to keep crafty, guys. I'm going to leave this as a little fun tuck spot. So if I want to tuck something in here, I can. But I won't have to be doing that anymore. I will get to counsel the people that are at a different stage of change, which will be refreshing and won't make me so bitter towards people, probably. So I am excited about that. Okay. We have, okay, this is what maybe I wanted to do, right? I thought they could be one of the restless spirits, so I probably glued this down too quickly. He looks like a good restless spirit. Or what do I want to tuck in here? Oh, crafts for sanity. I craft for other people's safety. Because he's a restless spirit too, Mr. Shakespeare. We're going to make our notes right here. Okay, I'm just going to go with my first instinct, and I want the guy with the top hat. I don't think I could take this off. Oh, I could. I'm just going to stick him down there, and we're going to glue the ghost on top. That's what we're doing. And then, because I don't want to get all sticky. Another reason why I don't work in the yard. I don't like to get dirty. There we go. So there is our decorated altered playing card, the APC. And I'm sorry, I'm bumping into my camera. I do realize that. My apologies. And if you aren't doing arts and crafts for sanity, you're just watching me do it for sanity, because I've been driven insane all week, right? If you aren't doing arts and crafts for sanity, what are you doing? I would like to know. Okay, so let's make a pocket. So our APC could go anywhere, or I could enter this in the curio card playing contest over there for Junetober if I would like to. I do want to make a pocket though, and I think I'm going to make a pocket out of, because I did not print enough. Actually, I want to make a postcard a pocket too, but out of my my stash. So I've slowly been picking at that stash for the last few years, which is kind of fun. The Ghost of Shakespeare's Past. Oh my goodness. So now it has to have a story, like that annoying white lady that just wanted to be everywhere in your reverse journal coloring view, right? We found spaces for her in my haunted places, haunted abandoned places. I could put like a little saying right there, I think. That would be fun. We'll find something. I'll try to make like a little pocket out of this. So this I did, well, I tried to reverse print it, but I don't know, my printer spit it out or something. Let's see where this could go. And then I'm just going to kind of crease it right here and then cut it down straight adjacent. That might still be a little bit too long. That's okay. I did say straight adjacent, so we don't need to freak or freak. That is definitely, I don't even know if that is straight adjacent, to be honest with you. I think I might have really flubbed that up. Let's try to make it more straight adjacent. Let's bring this lady out. She wants to help us make everything a little bit more straight. Oh, as I'm not using it correctly. View. I know I watched that one too. She's just smiling up at you. She's like, yeah, I don't fit here. Well, hey, lady, you're going to put me somewhere. Like she was just haunting you. Okay, so because these are the designer, which I think these are petals and parchment. They do the coloring, like the blending, so you don't really have to, but this is white core paper, and so I just kind of want to grunge it up just a little bit. And just add a little bit more focus into the postcard area. So now this is another journaling spot too. So this is perfect. Hey Jane, tell your grandkids hi. I meant, hey Jane, tell your grandkids I said hi, not like, hey Jane, you haven't been here the whole time. I think it came out as I didn't know you were here. I hope you enjoy your time with your grandkids. Anyway, maybe they'll be coloring with her today. I think she's got like uber colorful, talented grandkids. I'm excited that my grandson will come like yesterday. He just really sat and stared because he didn't feel good, but he'll come sit at my craft desk and my craft table, and he'll like try to color with my colors that I have out. So I was like, oh, that'll be so much fun when he like has a little bit more hand-eye, because he's not even two, hand-eye coordination kind of thing going on. We can have his colors and my colors, and we can sit and color, and he'll be my little crafting buddy because my kids think I'm a little bit insane. So there's the pocket. Okay, so to be a little bit more fun, because I'm copying you with her White Lady reverse collage story, I have these books that have sayings on them, or like little sayings, you know, statements, sentiments is what I was looking for. So we have the restless spirits. We kind of want to stick with that. He looks like restless, doesn't he? He looks like the government took a hold of him and he's going to haunt everybody now. Let's see if we can find any restless type spirit sayings here. And if you find them and I don't find them, let me know. The parting guest. That might be a good one. The Undertaker and the Embalmer. Is that what these guys are? Shakespeare and this guy, that's the Undertaker and the Embalmer, and now they're the restless spirits. Oh my gosh, I think we're going somewhere with this. Just go with me. Keep your hands and your feet inside the ride the whole entire time. I promise we do not go upside down. Okay, let's see. That's where I think we're going with it. Honestly. Undertaker and Embalmer. Life and death. Ooh. There we go. Now, because I have trust issues, we're going to put a little bit of glue, dot, dot, not a lot. And then we're going to watch the glue go everywhere because I don't know how to do dot, dot, not a lot. And I put it on crooked, but it's okay. The parting guest. So we have that over there. We have this. Maybe Shakespeare's the parting guest. I don't know. Maybe the government didn't get a hold of that guy. Maybe he got a hold of Shakespeare. That's right. We are too young to have grandkids. You? I mean, I did start young. Not that young, I guess. I was 20 when I had my son. So him and I are 20 years apart. The undertaker and the embalmer, the parting guest. I'm not offended by you saying I'm too young. I'll take it as you talking to me, basically. I know you're probably talking to Jane, but it's okay. I'll act like you're talking to me. Because Jane said BRB, so she's not here to hear the compliment. I'll take it for us. And anyone else that's in the chat. They're like, wait, she wasn't talking to you either. Okay, so now we just need to we could do like a few fun more things before we are the parting guests here. I like doing the postcards for little tuck spots and pockets, and I am probably going to do some spritzy in my splat box for making the doilies, the faux doilies out of the paper. I do like doing that. I've done that on View's channel as well. So View and I are going to go live on my channel next week, I do believe. Although View, I did find out I'm going to be taking my grandson to SeaWorld on Friday, so I can go Thursday after work. We'll go live here on my channel. Her and I will come up with a time and that works for both of us, and that'll be my little special fun thing to do. So I think that that'll be fun. So I'll try to schedule that. 29 forever, Belinda. Isn't that what the saying is? We're 29 forever. So because we have some bugs, let's like bug out a little bit. And then I'm just going to do this. And then folding the paper and then doing the inking sometimes is a little bit more fun because it looks a little bit more worn. So I do like that. So my idea is to staple this in here, and then it becomes a flip out, and I want to put like a little fun buggy, like a bug in here or whatever. Okay, bye Lori, have a good day at work. We have like a little menacing looking guys. Ugh. Ugh. But they fit in here just perfectly, I think. They're nice and weird and wonky. And let's just cut it out. That's what ephemera is for, right? So this is what I mean when I use these bigger scissors. I'll leave out more of the details because it's too much kind of a bother. And View says she's 70. I think View is a little bit of a fibber. I think maybe she's the youngest out of us all, and she's like deflecting. My mom is 70. She'll be, will she be 70 or 71 next month? Because it's Leo season coming. I know it's Gemini season right now, but let's ignore all of that. Just for personal reasons, not because I don't like you as a Gemini. But then next is Leo season. I'm a Leo. My birthday's actually next month. And then my mom's is in August. She was a Leo as well. Team Leo, hell yeah. My ex-husband is a Gemini, so that's why I'm like, let's just ignore that altogether. Because it's like, whatever. Can't be a victim forever, bro. Gotta take accountability, especially when you're like 7 years older than me. Gotta look within. That's how one heals. That's the whole hurt people thing. Aren't we? Are you a Leo as well? Is that why you're going away on your vacation? I think Leos do celebrate all month, right? I'm hoping I'll be able to get my birthday off. I don't know though with this whole like new program rollout thing, and that's like my responsibility. So he's gonna be without a little crawly thing, but like a leg. It's gonna be without a crawly thing. Very technical terms here I'm using. Okay, so I'm not gonna be able to thoroughly cut off all the white space. So we're just gonna like tone it down a little bit. There we go. And it's just gonna be kind of like weird to have it. Let's do the stapling first. I do not know what colors I have in here right now. I have gold. We're good to go. Your daughter's a Leo. Oh, Belinda. Oh, that's right. Cancer is it's Cancer and then it's Gemini. Okay. When is your birthday? May I ask? Because I forget where they fall. I forget where they land. We stapled that in. So we've got some birthdays to celebrate up in here next month, don't we? We're going to have like a whole birthday celebration. Yeah, me and my mom were both Leos. That was fun-ish. When you have two alpha females. She raised me, though. Don't worry, I got it back with my daughter. I'm not saying nothing. Oh, I'm July 28th. So happy early birthday. We'll do a special July birthday celebration up in here. And even if you're not a July birthday, celebrate with us. Everybody has to celebrate the birthdays. Well, you guys are really close together. So it's either like really good or like danger kind of thing, right? And so we might just save that spot over here for journaling and for what's to come in Junetober. As far as I do like the hand. Okay, so I don't need the mushroom. Let's just lob off that mushroom right now. So I want to cut out the hand and I want to use this as like a little pocket type thing to put some Junetober goodies in. And then I'll probably close it out there. But we'll see. I try not to keep you guys like longer than 2 hours because I know Jane's going on and I might just cut off his pinky because why not? Because I feel like I cut it half off already, but let's see. And then I don't know if you guys see, I like the comfy cozy coloring. So that means I like the cozy mysteries. So I'm a cozy creepy gal. Hallmark Channel starts their countdown to Christmas, or it's like Christmas in July. Next weekend? The 26th. So a week from Friday. So it's like, where did 2026 go? And what's it been doing? It's been kind of an asshole. Like, what's going on? I already have my 2027 goals like kind of slated in my head because I'm like, F this year. Like, what's happening? Mixed blessings, mixed blessings. I'm not being a total jerk about it. Okay, so there, I cut out the hand. Now, if we will, we're going to put him in the corner and he's just going to be like a pocket, like he's saying hi. So that might be kind of dangerous because this is mine though. So it's not like a bunch of people are going to be touching in and out of it. But like if I was to give this away, I probably wouldn't do this because the fingers would rip off and people would be pissed, right? But I'm just going to glue him down right there and be able to slide things in and out. And I have some of these things to go in there. Like I have a lot still that could go in here. Like that could go in there. I already created that kind of thing. So this is what we did today. Yes, yes, Jane. Thank you for visiting. You watched me struggle with this. You see, I'm not like the most linear of crafter, but it's okay. This is mine. I'm not worried. June 2026 for Junetober. These are the signatures. We did some like restless spirits, Shakespeare, because I could not, I'm the uncultured swine that couldn't figure that out. Jane helped me. The Undertaker and the Embalmer, the parting guest. Who is who? Ooh, it's a mystery. Anyway, so we've got some creepy crawlies. We've just got some funsies going on, and this will take me through my Junetober 2026 projects. And I do have a video that will be coming up on the 29th, and I'll be creating something with everybody's. I don't just have one designer that I am going to be focusing on. I was invited to focus on them all. So I'm very excited about that. I hope you guys have a very good day. I hope you go check Miss Jane out. She's a fabulous, talented colorist. Check out me and View next Thursday, time TBD, CBD, standby. Turn on notifications though, so you don't miss out. And don't forget to take part in self-care, because that's going to be the most important thing of how we're going to survive 2026. And if you'll be watching the spectacle today, you do you, boo. And I'll be crafting and cleaning. Have a great day, guys. Bye.